The Buhl Mansion is a place that attracts love, literally.
It's a labor of love, absolutely. And, we always joke it was built on love. It was actually built as a wedding present from Frank Buhl to his wife, Julia. And then in 96, 100 years later, they moved in 1897, actually. And in 1997, my aunt and uncle opened it as a luxury inn. And again, we were the top 10 most romantic inns one year. I mean, it's all about romance here.
This place exists because a steel tycoon fell in love with a coal mining princess. The rest is history.
So the mansion was built in 1891 by Frank Buhl, who is a major steel baron, and this was a wedding present to his wife, Julia, and her family was in the coal mining industry, so you needed both to make the magic in the steel mills. The house, was actually built thanks to Frank's mother coming from Detroit, Michigan to say, how can you let your wife live in this house that they were living in on this property at that time? And it wasn't big enough and grand enough, apparently, for such a beautiful bride. So she insisted, you need to build her a mansion. So they did. This house isn't much larger, I would say, than the other house. That was 10 rooms, this is 14. So most mansions that you see in the Gilded Age were a lot larger, it was more opulent, and this is very big, but this one's more of a home. It's more usable and more humble, like the Buhls. They were very humble folks that were just really down to earth compared to their counterparts. So
the mansion is just a few steps away from State Street in Sharon, Pennsylvania. If you're familiar with the area, you've driven by it many times. If you're not from Sharon, now is the time to hop online and plan your trip to see this impressive destination in person. And no, you don't need to be an overnight guest to take advantage of the relaxing day spa.
So yeah, the mansion is very close to State Street. I think a lot of people, when they're on our website, they're like, oh, it must be out in the country, and then they come and they're like, wait, it's right here? We're passing Daffins. Oh, I've always gone to Daffins, and it's right next door. So I think that, and that was intentional with the Buhls. They wanted it close to State Street because they wanted visitors. When you come in the mansion, it has an old world feel, but it's still very elegant. It's still very opulent. It's still very Gilded Age.
We call it a castle. It is actually a Richardsonian Romanesque style mansion, but it looks like a castle with the turrets. And so, it's kind of your own castle when you arrive. So you are a king and queen, you're royalty when you get here. And we have 10 overnight guest rooms that are lovely. They all have fireplaces. They all have, big jetted tubs for two. And you can have breakfast in bed. We have a lovely little sunroom that overlooks the gardens too, if you do want to come down for that. But in afternoon tea, and on the weekends we also do a champagne and hors d'oeuvre reception. So, it's just getting pampered the whole time. We have a full service spa and literally everything. We don't do hair, but we do, body wraps and massages and facials and nail treatments and all of that. So you can come and just get pampered. And our best-selling package is our spa romance package, again, about the love.
And if you're just a history buff looking to be wowed, the tours are very popular thanks to the Sharon Historical Society.
So the tours here at Buhl Mansion has always done tours in their 26, 27 years of existence. But during COVID, we kind of slowed those down, and to kind of make them a little more accessible and have them be more of an event style rather than just me and you giving a tour to you for an hour. We kind of decided to co-brand and do this big kind of 50-person tour on certain dates and times to make it more of a thing that anyone can come to. So the Historical Society has a lot of marketing on it to get it out to we have people coming from as far away as like south of Pittsburgh for the tours. So we're bringing a lot of people up here to see the mansion and to, showcase its history. So.
And for Laura, the best part is watching their reactions and then the world melting away once people walk through the mansion's impressive doors.
A lot of gasping, I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, your reaction, you just like you did. And the biggest thing I see with our guests, especially our first time, well, actually, even our repeats, is kind of this disconnect. Like people walk in and you can almost see the stress leave. And it's like the stress button just gets popped and I see people just take it down a peg. We are nearby. We're only an hour and a half, depending on where you are in the city, from Pittsburgh or Cleveland. Half an hour from Youngstown, and yet you're in a different world.